Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Watchers Podcast with your hosts, Brad and Colson.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you were home.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told it was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name's Brad, here with Colson Oliver.
Hello.
Colson, how's it going?
It's going.
That's good.
Yeah, always it's going. And yourself?
It's also going.
That is swell.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a fun episode in store today. We're going to be talking about Men, and also the movie
Right.
Men. Before we get to that, watch anything this week?
Yeah. The Batman.
New? Is this a new movie?
It's new.
New? Never heard of it.
Yeah. I finally got around to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought it and I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I liked it a
Nice.
lot. Felt different from any other Batman movie that's been out so far, in my opinion.
For sure.
Which is nice. I liked the villains. I liked the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Robert Pattinson did a good job.
Yeah.
The only thing that bugged me about him was certain scenes when he's Bruce Wayne with the dumb fucking long hair in his eyes, like a goth,
Yeah, like
man.
yeah, emo,
Yes.
emo Bruce.
Just fucking comb your hair back, shithead.
Yeah,
Other than that, and the other thing that kind of annoyed me is one of the villains is the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
And you get riddles. Batman is a fucking master at solving riddles because as soon as they're read, not even a second goes by and that fucking guy has the riddle solved.
Yep.
And I'm like, God damn it, I want to try and solve some of these fucking riddles, but Mr.
Yeah.
fucking Rich Boy solves them all before we even get a chance.
Yeah. This movie also, slight spoiler, suffers from something that happened in the last Batman movie too,
Okay.
where Batman doesn't catch the bad guy or doesn't really have any interaction with him.
Right, yeah,
The cops get the Riddler.
yeah,
Like, there's no real
It's true.
showdown of any sort.
yeah.
It's like, that's what I want. I want
He-
those two
yeah.
to interact more.
Yeah. I loved the Riddler. I sent you a message about it. I think, yeah, what was it?
Yeah.
How you just look at Jim Carrey as the Riddler and the costume and everything that the decisions that were made to do that movie compared to this one. It's just, you'd put them side by side and you'd never guess that they're the same character.
Yeah, this guy's definitely Zodiac killer.
Yes. The movie itself felt Zodiac. It felt Seven. Dark. I loved the music that played through the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I had a lot of fun watching it. So
Yeah, I thought it was great.
yeah,
I'm a little jealous you got to watch it at home because that means you could pause it to go to the bathroom.
that's right.
And I'm guessing on your TV it looked brighter than it did in the theater.
Yeah, that's another thing I had heard was it was very dark. I told you as well. I didn't have any issue seeing anything
Yeah.
on screen. A guy I work with was talking about the movie, and he felt it. The whole thing just ran too slow for him. But with me, if you've seen the movie, it's not the very opening, but it's like 10 minutes in. Batman's doing this monologue thing. about who he is and whatever,
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. From
I thought that
point
part was good.
Yeah, I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So if I were to rate the Batman Begins for me is my number one.
Mm-hmm.
I put this one tied with The Dark Knight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have it right there. So,
Nice.
yeah, a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I liked it. I think I would like it more knowing how long it is.
Yeah,
Because like I said, when I talked about it before, I didn't check the runtime.
right.
So I just went into it thinking I was going to be in for a 2-hour movie.
2 hours and 56 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the longest runtime of all of them, but
Yeah. But I am excited for more of this kind of Batman.
yeah. And we, not to spoil it, but both of us agree with the ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Yeah.
enough.
There's a certain character that doesn't need to show up.
Yeah, if you've seen it, you know, and if you haven't, go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, did you happen to watch anything?
Believe it or not, I watched a movie.
Swell.
Yeah.
Second time using that word today. Fucking dope.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I watched Pretty in Pink.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald.
My favorite.
We talked about her recently
Yeah.
in The Stand. You had watched The Stand, and she
Yeah.
was in that. Yeah, it was good. I had never watched it before.
Mm-hmm.
First time. But I found we have a John Hughes collection,
Oh, okay.
and I said to my wife, I was like, what do you want to watch? And she was like, I don't care anything. So I was like, maybe I'll pick something I know she'll like. And I picked this, and she fell asleep
Oh,
half an hour in. So
that's fantastic.
so I continued to watch it by myself.
Have you seen the John Hughes movies? All like Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, all those? Or...
None of them.
No?
No. They just never really appealed to me.
Okay.
I liked this, though, so I'll probably...
This one is my least favorite of those, like Breakfast Club, 16 Candle, all that
Yeah.
shit.
It's not super highly rated either.
Yeah.
People don't love it, but it's the one you hear the most about, besides
Biggest-
Breakfast Club.
Pet peeve with this one is it Ducky?
Yeah.
Ugh.
John Cryer.
I cannot stand him. He bugs me. 2.5 Men, that show.
Yeah.
I hated that show, but I just don't like him.
Did you see him later on? Did he play Lex Luthor, I think, in a show?
Oh, maybe.
And he has, like, bald and has a beard or a goatee or something, and he's completely, like, serious. So strange.
Different for him, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That was it.
All right.
So, we are talking about Men. Directed by Alex Garland. Came out this year. And currently has a 6.1 on IMDb.
Yeah.
First time watch for both of us.
Yeah.
It was an A24 horror movie. So it was really on my radar. But I'll let you do the rundown.
A young woman goes on a solo vacation to the English countryside following the death of her ex-husband. So that's all we get. Jessie Buckley plays Harper. Rory Kinnear plays Jeffrey. Papa Isaidu plays James. And Gail Rankin plays Riley. Small cast. The director had done Ex Machina and Annihilation.
Yeah.
Both of those. He wrote and directed this movie as well.
And I loved both of those.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what you thought of this. We're spoiling this movie.
Yes.
Runtime's an hour and 40 minutes. A little bit less with the credits.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep this in order.
Okay.
Sometimes we tend to jump around. If you feel like jumping to something, jump. But my notes are in order.
Okay.
There's a reason.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll read my first one, if you're good with that.
Yep. Good to go.
I love this guy, meaning Jeffrey. He's giving a tour of the house. He's got the strangest delivery and bizarre look and smile.
Yeah.
He makes jokes and then we'll just stare at her.
Like waiting for her to laugh.
Yeah, and then he'll kind of chuckle.
Yeah.
I
He's
love him.
super awkward.
Very awkward.
If I was in her situation, like Harper's,
Yeah.
I'd be so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, for
I'd just
sure.
be so awkward. I just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Oh, brutal. He picks up her suitcases and he carries them, and at one point he kind of drops them, and you can't. She's in the kitchen, so away, but you hear him like, "Fuck, shit," as he's kind of tripping over this luggage. It's great.
Yeah.
And I guess she's renting this enormous place from him. But yeah, I loved the character of Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey was great.
Yeah. Now I have a question for you. My second note. We see her unpacking, and she's putting her clothes away. Now we find out she's there for, I believe it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When you're in a hotel, say you're staying there for 3 or 4 days or something, do you unpack and put your clothes into a dresser?
Never.
Me either. Not once have I ever put. I've stayed in hotels for weeks, like a full week, and I live out of the suitcase. I've never put my clothes in the dresser.
No.
I wonder how many people do what she's doing. 2 weeks is a little bit, and this is a house too. It's a little bit different.
True.
But I'm curious to know if you out there stay in a hotel for a night or 2 or 3, do you unpack and put your clothes away?
Yeah, let us know.
Bizarre to me.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Me either. I don't know anybody who has.
No. Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe. Okay, so that was my question for you. I believe I have another question for you here. We see her walking around this place. It's very damp, extremely green. My next question for you is this a vacation that you would be interested in?
I would like this.
Would you?
I like this spot.
I hate it.
I don't know if I could spend 2 weeks
2
there.
weeks is a long time.
But like 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
I could definitely do it.
Okay.
I like the location. I like
It looked
the
nice.
tunnels and everything.
Yeah, it looked like she's walking around extremely green. The colors of this movie are almost unbelievable. As she's kind of just walking through trees and countryside and shit like that. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Not for me, though. I don't know. I would not be interested in a vacation like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, the tunnel, you mentioned the tunnel.
Yes.
Great scene.
This is probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I would
think.
agree. She's hollering into it, making music, essentially.
Yeah.
And the echo is like 10 echoes deep.
Yeah.
Like it'll as it goes through, a lot spaced out, but she makes music and it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Very well shot.
Yeah. I love that they use the music that she's making throughout the movie, too.
Yeah.
It becomes part of the soundtrack after
does.
this.
Yeah, if you've ever watched YouTube of people who are making, like, they'll layer tracks, they'll play a piano like do-do-do-do, and then it'll every do-do-do-do, do-do-do, and then the next thing they'll do, and it just by the end of it, it sounds like a fucking amazing song.
Yeah.
That's essentially what she's doing in a tunnel.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that was actually done in post, like that tunnel, if it actually echoed the way it portrayed in the movie.
I'm going to guess no.
I would say no. I'd like to think yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked and sounded great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the movie. She, like, you can tell something's wrong. I don't know if you know by that point.
No, we've only seen flashes.
Yeah.
We do see a slow motion thing of a guy falling through or out a window and they make eye contact.
Yeah.
That's all we see.
Right.
And her with a bloody nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's patching that as the movie goes.
Yeah. So you know there's something that's been happened to her that's traumatic. And at this point it's kind of like she's like has a moment where she's forgotten all of it. She's kind of like let it all go.
Yeah.
And then it goes from like this joyous, like really cool thing to like super creepy.
Yeah.
Like, in an instant.
Yeah.
Because they show this guy like stand up at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's extremely long. It's like, I don't know, she's kind of in the middle of it. And we see somebody get up, like, very far away. Mm-hmm. And her being, probably not in the middle, but close to it, it's a very, very long tunnel.
Yeah.
But yeah, She runs away.
And they make that screech noise.
Uh-huh.
And you can hear it chasing her down the tunnel, like the echo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, she as she's running, she ends up missing her turn, which we see her climbing down this hill.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's running away, she goes right past it. So you're like, fuck, she missed her turn.
Yeah.
Where is she going to end up? And she comes out, whatever. She kind of is in an open field, and it almost hits her like, this is silly. I'm here to relax. Turns around, takes a picture of this barn, and we see a guy standing there with his junk out, completely naked. That creeped me the fuck out. Big time.
Yeah.
Complete daylight. Something creepy about daylight and scary things.
Yep.
Because it's like...
It's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not what you're used to seeing.
Exactly.
I know. I love the daytime horror stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Midsummer did it too.
That's right.
The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we see this random guy standing there, and she sees him, and she continues to move along.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we see him around her place. She calls 999, which is... Actually, it's funny, because I was just listening to a show the other day where they talked about how England screwed up with the phone that you had to put your finger in and go...
Yeah.
They made it the longest fucking thing that you could.
Yeah.
It was like so stupid. America and North America made it 9 and then 11.
Yeah.
Super quick. And they're like, oh, well, we'll fucking make it 9, 9, 9. Just way longer. But anyway.
That's funny.
Terrifying situation.
Yeah. And it's funny because she's talking to her friend
Yeah.
on the phone.
Video.
Like a video.
Yeah,
FaceTime.
FaceTime, exactly.
And then she sees this guy.
Yeah.
Then she goes, I'll call you back, and
Yeah.
hangs up. Why do people always do that?
I don't know.
Like, I would keep her on the line.
Yeah, I would too. I also wanted to ask you, because when she's talking to her friend, I think it's at this time, and it definitely happens later, but when the screen goes fuzzy,
Yeah.
there's like a monster's face in it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I did too, and I didn't rewind or pause or anything, but I noticed it.
And nothing really ever comes of that.
No.
Like, there's no explanation why
Right.
it's affecting technology.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you and see if you saw it too.
Yeah.
She calls 999, sees that the door to the house is open just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I would fly kick that door, just like Dave England does to Bam's face in Jackass. As she gets to the door, he sticks his arm through the mail slot. He's all cut up. He's got like red marks all over his skin. She should have just fucking stomped his arm.
That's what I
snapped
said.
it.
I was like, just snap that
Break
elbow.
it, grab it, and fucking twist it around. But yeah, she doesn't. She calls the police, come, and they get the guy.
Which surprised me at that point.
Yeah.
I figured the police were going to show up and be like, oh, we couldn't find him.
Couldn't find him.
But they're like, no, there's a shot of them.
Yeah.
Pinning him down and cuffing him.
Yeah, so the police get him. Now there's still an hour left in the movie. So I honestly, I have no idea what this movie's about. I watched about 30 seconds of the trailer, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I went into this knowing nothing.
I saw the teaser.
Okay.
And that was it. And that was just her, like, in the tunnel.
Okay.
That one scene. And that was pretty well it.
Now, jumping forward, she's out exploring again, finds a church. She comes out. Do you have anything to say about inside the church?
Not really.
Okay.
But at this point, I will mention we do know by now what has happened to her.
Yes.
Her husband, who's a complete bag of garbage.
Yeah. Love that phrase, bag of garbage.
Threatens to kill himself if they get a divorce.
Yeah.
And right then and there, you're like, yeah, you got to divorce this guy. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then you figure out, like, okay, he's the guy that fell out the window. And I think at this point she tells the story to the priest, right?
Yeah, just after she walks outside, she sees a kid sitting there.
Yeah.
Wearing a mask, a plastic female mask.
Yeah.
And he takes the mask off, and it looks CGI to me.
Yeah, it looks almost like that vacant Polar Express
Right.
face.
That's right. Now, at this moment, I was like, that was strange.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'll read my notes as I have them in order.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's talking with the priest. The priest is just as awful as her husband is, I guess.
Yep.
This is a quote. He punches her. Her husband punched her
Yeah.
in the nose. That's how she got the bloody nose. The priest said, "Did you give him a chance to apologize?" And she kind of looks at him puzzled, and he goes, "He hit you. Men hit women sometimes, but it's not a capital offense." This is a quote from a priest or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah. And the whole time he has his hand on her leg, like up on her side.
Fucking creepy long fingernail. Did you see that? It's like a cocaine fingernail that people had in the 80s. Fucking creep. And then there's great. She gets up and leaves after she fucking trashes this guy, and he pulls out chapstick and just slowly puts it on.
Yeah.
What a ghoul. And he's rubbing the bench where she was sitting.
Yeah.
That's where I saw his fucking dumb, creepy finger.
Yeah, he's gross.
Now, did you notice? Well, okay, I'll just keep reading. Well, no, it's the pub scene.
Yeah.
So, did you notice the priest was played by the same guy who played Jeffrey?
Yeah, he plays every male
Did you notice though?
At this point, when I was watching it, I was like, "There's something weird with their faces."
Yeah.
And then I had said to my wife, I was like, "Is this all the same guy?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "I think it is." Like, you can sort of tell, but it's sort of just they're changed enough that you're kind of like.
I noticed when the kid took the mask off that it looked CGI, and I was like, okay, so they put that guy's Jeffrey's face on this younger body, and then the priest. I didn't even think about it. I was like, this guy, whatever, it's a priest. Yeah. Maybe they kind of looked alike, but I didn't clue in until the pub scene.
Yeah.
When she goes in, there's like 4 different guys in there, and it's going from guy to guy as they're all talking or whatever. There's a police officer, there's a bartender, there's a random guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, those 4 or whatever are the same person. So yeah, it took that long for me to notice. I guess they did a good enough job with the priest that you don't really think much about it, or I didn't anyway. Yeah. So she goes back to her place. She gives her friend the address to the where she's staying because she's getting ready to leave. Mm-hmm. She finds out at the pub that they let the guy go because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She's like stalking, breaking and entering, or attempted breaking B&E, and it's like, no, sorry. So she gives her friend the address to come stay with her, and this again we see that scrambled phone and a creepy face. Mm-hmm. That's where I saw it for sure. I was like, yeah, there's something going on there. But yeah, like you said, it doesn't really go anywhere.
No.
Now, at this point of the movie, this movie just kind of turns into a strange movie.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I'm very confused. There's a break-in scene where the guy, she goes outside and the police officer's out there.
Yeah. And
he's standing under the apple tree. And the light goes off and turns back on, and he's just gone.
Yeah, and it's super creepy. Like
it's like
a light switch going on and off outside. Yeah. Like it's kind of like click, click, and he's gone.
Yeah,
like it's really cool.
And then all the apples fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy who we saw in the bar, one of the guys who was at the table, rushes at the door. And like he's gonna bust through it or something, and I'm just like, I'm very confused. What is happening?
Yeah,
here?
By this point, I'm super lost.
Yeah. Jeffrey shows up, and he's checking the property, and again he's out in the middle of the yard. The spotlight thing's on him, and it goes off and comes back on, and he's gone. Yeah,
and he's over by the hedges,
right?
So I guess she assumes like, okay, he's gone into the woods.
Maybe yes. The naked guy is back, and he blows dandelion shit whatever those things are called, all over her.
Seeds.
Yeah, she, whatever. It's a very fucked up movie.
Yeah. And we completely forgot to mention there's a scene of him like sticking leaves in his cuts.
Yes.
In his face.
In his head. Yeah, he's putting like a leaf right in his forehead.
And you see a few times that picture of the statue, like the face, which is the Green Man, I guess is what it's called.
Okay.
It shows up in like, it's a thing that people know about. I didn't know about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll let you continue.
The naked man is trying to get in, sticks his arm through the mail slot again.
Yep.
And this time she has a knife, and she stabs it, and I guess the knife kind of goes right through the two bones in your forearm.
Yeah. And
he pulls the hand out and slices it straight down through between the two fingers.
And as gross as that sounds,
yeah,
it's not that gross because it's so CGI.
It's very CGI.
Like, if that had been done with a practical effect, that would have looked disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, maybe that's not what he was going for.
Yeah, maybe not. As the naked man, it happened to him. But from this point on, as every other Jeffrey guy, whatever, shows up, that hand is on that guy.
Yeah, with the split.
Yes, so it's split like a V.
Like a lobster claw almost.
Right. This point I'm starting to get personally I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm so confused. Starting to lose me. I don't hate it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting that feeling inside that I'm going to hate this very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Moving on. She hits Jeffrey and stops.
Oh, yeah. She gets in her car and tries to leave.
Yes.
And hits Jeffrey.
Hits him. She stops for whatever reason, I guess because it's Jeffrey that she hit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she doesn't realize that he looks like every other person.
Yeah.
That's why she stopped. I have no idea.
The most unrealistic part of this movie is how well that Ford Fiesta handles when she's driving it.
Oh, for sure.
She's like drifting in it.
Feeling around, yeah. He pulls her out, leaves her in her car. Might be the best scene of the movie as you see the headlights come back and his face and the noise that he makes.
Right, I forgot about that.
He's just peeling back as the car's screaming down. He's gonna fucking ram her.
Yeah,
and it made me laugh.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it was great. He's kind of drifting all around the driveway trying to hit her, ends up crashing the car, and now just all hell breaks loose.
Oh yeah.
A naked man who is dressed like a deer type thing. He's the plant guy with antlers.
Yeah, he has like the Green Man face thing going on.
He has a huge pregnant belly, and he gives birth to a steaming and screaming pregnant guy.
Yep.
Who then gives birth to Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Who then gives birth out of his back. And this looks like a fucking pussy slit. Sorry for the description. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
It opens up and like this thing pours out. It's fucking horrendous. And it sounds awful. And it looked awful.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Jeffrey gives birth out of his back. One of those slit things opens up in his back, gives birth to another Jeffrey, who then births out of his mouth.
This one looked crazy.
Her dead husband.
Yeah, I loved the legs, sticking up out of his mouth.
Out. It was fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
She watches this whole thing, and then just casually sits down next to her husband.
I love the look on her face the whole time. Because she
Yeah.
doesn't look scared.
No,
she looks like...
Well, this is happening.
Yeah, it's like disappointed and like, oh, I thought this was going to be a slasher or something.
Yeah. And that's it. They have their little moment on the couch.
Yeah.
And that's how it ended.
Yeah.
My note do you have anything you want to say?
I
assume you had no idea that this was gonna happen.
no idea.
No idea.
Came completely out of left field.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this part at all. I was left so confused as to what it even all was.
Right.
I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So I messaged Dave, a good online friend of mine. We may have had 2 conversations, if that, in actual person, but anytime there's anything horror related, he's the guy I go to. I was like, you've seen this movie? I need help. I don't understand. He broke it down, and as soon as he did, I'm like, this makes total sense.
Okay. Well, let's hope that you can fucking translate as well as Dave Stewart.
Yes. I can't, but basically he said it's toxic masculinity is the whole thing. And like how Alex Garland doesn't mean literally every guy's the same, but like there's tons of guys out there like this. Like the priest was like, oh, well, you didn't give him a chance to apologize. Like guys hit women sometimes. Or like the cop, or like how they're all kind of treating her husband being the main one. And how it's just kind of like a vicious cycle, because at the end, like you think like, okay, maybe her husband has a change of heart now after that, but he's the exact same. Yeah. Like he never changes. Yeah. And I had read some things where you see a lot of the dandelions. Yeah. And it's like how men literally spread their seed without any repercussion kind of thing. Okay. It's like, that's a cum metaphor.
I got it.
Yeah. I just had to really break it down for you.
There you go.
So yeah, that's basically what it was. I don't get the Green Man connection, though. I don't understand that part of it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, based off of that, I might take that into effect on next viewing. Yeah. I'm going to have to really pay attention. I definitely noticed some of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, very strange.
Yeah. And I will mention the shot of her husband. Like, you find out they live in an apartment.
Yeah.
He went out to the upstairs apartment and burst in.
Yeah, because she locked him out.
Yeah. And she said he was trying to climb down.
Right.
Or he let go. And then it shows the shot of him.
Yeah.
And he hit the cast iron fence.
Oh, fucking.
He's impaled. Like, his legs impaled. His head.
Yeah, his head.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, very, very much, very, very good.
Yeah. So I will admit, when I was watching this movie, by that last act, I hated this.
Okay.
I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
With a little more explanation, and I can look at it how it's supposed, like what he was going for.
Right.
I don't hate it, but it's definitely Alex Garland's weakest movie in a while, I think. I'll let you...
Yeah, I agree with that. The first hour into the movie, all these movies start off at a 10.
Mm-hmm.
An hour in, 7.5, maybe even an 8 for me.
Yep.
That last half an hour, though, it just dropped down. I don't hate the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm giving this a 2, but it did come down. And yeah, once we give our ratings, you'll find out how low. But like I say, that first hour, and this woman is a fantastic actress.
She is.
Scenes of her, I think it was in the church where she's just kind of staring and then just starts crying or whatever.
Like screaming.
Yeah, it was very well done.
Yeah. Like, just looking at her, you can tell, like, she's tortured.
Yeah.
Like, she can't
let
go.
But yeah, as for movie making, the imagery, the like we mentioned, the whole tunnel thing was great.
Yeah.
Where they shot this, it was a perfect spot. Like,
yeah, it feels like a super secluded little
just a
place in the woods.
Yeah, we don't see anybody except for Jeffrey. And once he leaves, we really don't see anybody until that naked fucking creep starts chasing her in the tunnel. And
aside from like the cars and the phones and stuff, this would feel like something like a lot older, like
Yeah.
where they are. It
Right,
doesn't
yeah.
feel like it feels like a place at a time almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, great location. The sound is super creepy. Visuals are creepy.
Yeah.
There's so much good, and I think that's just because Alex Garland is a competent filmmaker.
Yeah.
Like, Ex Machina is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
Annihilation, also fantastic.
Yeah.
But does get really weird at the
Oh
end
yeah.
too.
It does.
So yeah, it's a really hard one to rate.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go ahead.
Do you want to do this spooky
Yeah.
for this one?
Spooky, scary, or terrifying?
Yeah, I say scary until the end. It just kind of got silly, but like I say, that first hour,
Yeah,
it's a scary movie.
it is.
Like it's creepy. So I'll keep it at scary, even
Yep.
though the ending fell apart for me. But
Yeah, and I think the ending could have been scarier if she had a different reaction.
that's true.
Like, she's just kind of standing there like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, she's not scared. If
That's true.
there was a man giving birth out of his ass vagina
Yeah.
and continuously giving birth, I'd be freaked
Again
out.
and again. Yeah.
I'd be
that's
like, what
fuck-
did I eat or drink unknowingly? Like, am I drugged right now?
Oh, for sure.
But she's just like, ugh, this is pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say scary. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Ratings for me, it dropped down to a 5.
Okay.
So, and again, I probably will watch this movie again. I don't know when,
Yeah.
but I think it has potential to go up to higher.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm sticking with a 5.
Yeah. I'm at 6.5.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It just means that ending is so weird.
Yeah, very weird. We don't talk about movies that we're gonna discuss. All that I got, because I loaned it to you,
Yeah.
and all you said was, "Did you watch this yet?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." And you're like, "Okay." Like, this is going to be interesting. I was like, yes, okay. We didn't say anything else.
No.
So it's always fun to I had no idea what you were going to think.
Yeah.
You know, you never really know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting movie for sure.
Yeah. I like the slow burn start.
Yeah, I
but
love that shit.
Me too.
Like I said, that first hour is great.
It is.
And that's the other thing I love. And it seems to be happening more and more with these different horror movies, where not the Conjuring universe bullshit of when something scary is happening, you get that screeching violin horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, when she's taking a picture of that barn and that fucking guy's standing there naked, that is creepier than anything the Conjuring,
Yep.
Insidious, fucking Annabelle, The Nun have done.
Yep.
That one shot alone is creepier than all those movies have done.
Yeah.
And they need to learn that, because it works a lot better, in
It
my
does.
opinion.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. And fellas, if any of the toxic masculinity stuff has offended you, maybe time to take a little reflection and
Yeah.
look at yourself and
Exactly.
figure out why you're like the way you are.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Let us know what you thought of Men. Not men in general.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell us about your dad or something if you want, but
Right.
we want to hear about the movie. And hope you will join us next week. Bye.